live this life on the bright side. I want to choose to believe in the quality of humankind. Because there's going to be some hard times, something's got to push us through the night. I just want to live now. I just want to survive this whole world. Just want to live on the bright side.
Doesn't get old, man. Does not get old. What's going on, guys? February 6th, 2021. Oh, man. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. The Bucks against the Chiefs. Who do you got? Who do you got tomorrow, man? I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. It's going to be a close game, high scoring. I'm going to go Bucks by 3. Last second field goal. Tom Brady, MVP. That's the prediction. Book it. 100%. Fuck Patrick Mahomes, man. I mean, yeah, not a fan. I know he's super talented. I am not a fan of Patrick Mahomes. I watched this video on Patrick Mahomes. It's might have been in his first season. He was showing off his new house, and half the house was a sneaker room. The guy has 1,000, maybe 5,000 shoes, and it's just him and his high school sweetheart talking about his shoes and, hey, I don't let my brother in here because he might steal my shoes. Oh, hey, watch that video. Look it up on YouTube. It's Patrick Mahomes shows off his shoe closet. You'll hate him. You'll absolutely hate the guy. It's yeah, you won't like him. Put it that much. Tom Brady, the Bucks win at home by 3. Last second field goal. Book it. Tom Brady MVP. That's the thing. Tom Brady, man, he leaves the Patriots. He goes to the Bucks. Gronk follows him, and he's in the Super Bowl. It is so crazy. It's one of the craziest things to happen in sports in a long time, in my opinion. And it makes you question, was it everyone gives Belichick so much credit? He's obviously a great coach. He's obviously a genius when it comes to coaching football. But would he have done it without Tom Brady? Tom Brady and Gronk? I don't know. I think this, even if they lose tomorrow, Tom Brady making the Super Bowl on a different team the year after he leaves, the next year, just sort of solidifies that it was Tom Brady, not Belichick. I mean, it's crazy, man. Tom Brady and Gronk in the Super Bowl again on a different team. And you throw in Antonio Brown too. It's madness. I mean, how many touchdowns has Tom Brady thrown to Gronk? Gronk has been running the same route. He's been running the same route for 10 years. He lines up just outside, and he just runs a straight route. He just runs in a straight line. He turns his head to the left, catches the ball. Tom Brady just hundreds of touchdowns. The same route. He doesn't even go to the left. It's just a straight route up the middle. I mean, 80% of his touchdowns are him just literally running straight up the field and Tom Brady just throwing a little muffin into him. I mean, man, here's the thing about Tom Brady. The guy is not athletic. He's such an enigma. The guy just wins. You see him play and you're like, this guy should not be winning that much. I don't know how many Super Bowls has the guy played in. It's ridiculous. You look at him play though and you're like, I could outrun that guy. You ever see him when he doesn't get out of the pocket much, but when he there's that one video of him trying to scramble and he tries to dive forward. And he looks like he's 80 years old. He's just always been like that. He's a great passer. I mean, he's a great leader, obviously, but I don't know. He just has that X factor. There's something about the guy that just makes him win. All the guy does, he wins football games. He marries supermodels. And he kisses his son directly on the lips on camera. I mean, the guy's checking all the boxes. It's incredible. It's Tom Brady, man, when you rank all athletes, all sports, in my lifetime, I'm not talking in the 70s, 80s, in my lifetime, okay, I got to think. If I'm ranking the top 3 athletes of all time in my life, I'm going I'm going to get some hate for this. Number 1, Tiger Woods. I mean, it's hard to argue. I think what Tiger Woods did for golf, he transformed golf. And in the 2000s or whatever, when that guy was winning, he was winning by like 12 strokes at the Masters. He was like 15 under at the Masters, and like starting Sunday in the Sunday Red, he'd already won. He'd literally already won. He could shoot 10 over par and he'd still win. I mean, so number 1, Tiger Woods. Number 2, this has changed for me. This isn't in my era, so I know I said in my era, but Michael Jordan. I mean, after seeing The Last Dance, I didn't understand how big Michael Jordan was. Like, I just didn't get it until I watched The Last Dance. That is a great show, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, The Last Dance, unbelievable. So Michael Jordan 2, and then 3, you have to put Tom Brady in there. Not for skill, just for the fact of how much he's won. And they're not even playing with a round ball. He's played a sport with a ball that isn't round, and he's won. It's like there's some stat like Tom Brady has been in like 10% or 15% of the Super Bowls. For like in all time, he's played in 15% of them, something crazy like that. I don't know. I'm just making that fact up. I heard it though. I mean, yeah, he's just no argument. Tom Brady, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Like, just based on winning alone. I don't care about the other stats. I mean, just based on winning alone, you have to put him in there. I mean, end of the day, playing sports is about winning, and that's what the guy does. He wins, and like, yeah, like obviously I'm a Cowboys fan. If you don't know me, I'm a huge Cowboys fan. So I mean, a close 4 is Tony Romo. I mean, a close 4 is Tony Romo. You know, we won't go down that road right now, but I mean, I love Tony Romo. I love Tony Romo so much, I named my dog Romo. Okay? Like, 2 of the most heartbreaking things in my life. These are 2, not the most, but top 10, 2 of the top 10 most heartbreaking things in my life. One of them was when Romo got hurt and then Dak Prescott came in. And they were winning, and Dak was throwing these like 8-yard passes. They had the best O-line of football. They had Zeke. It felt like their year, and they're like, oh my, Dak's the next thing. The Cowboys were like considered a Super Bowl favorite. He went on some like 9-game win streak, but then Romo came back. Like, Dak could not throw the ball more than 10, 15 yards. He was just checking it down every single play, and it was working, but they had a great O-line. They were running the shit out of the ball. And then Romo came back like just before the playoffs, and they didn't start him. They did not put Romo back in. That was the Jason Garrett. Like, fuck Jason Garrett. Fuck Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett this is what he did all game. He just sat there like this. He'd smack some asses. He would just clap. You just watch the game, and that's all Jason Garrett would do was clap. And that fucker didn't put Tony Romo back in. That ended up being Romo's last season. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. If Romo comes back in that year, if he stayed healthy, I know his back was broken, his collarbone was fucked. Like, I know it was, for Tony Romo's life, it's probably good he didn't come back in, because if he took one more bad hit, you know, he could have been done. It could have really fucked his life up. But like, Cowboys win the Super Bowl that year. There's no argument. There is no doubt in my mind the Cowboys win the Super Bowl if Tony Romo came back that year. And the other, heartbreaking thing was my dog Romo. Like, so here's the 2 things with Romo. Romo not coming in, heartbreaking. My dog Romo, in a breakup a few years back, I lost my dog. So like, I literally lost Tony Romo, then I lost my dog named Romo. My ex literally has a dog named Romo, and she doesn't know what shape a football is. Her dog's name is Romo. It's not even a name, like, it doesn't even make sense. Everyone just knows, like, okay, it's the football player Romo. So yeah, man, the Romos of the world, they put me through a lot, okay? They have put me through a lot. I got PTSD from that name. I mean, great announcer, though. That was a good transition for him. I mean, now he just golfs. He just golfs and talks for a couple hours on a Sunday, occasionally a Thursday or Monday night for like 4 months out of the year. Makes a few $1,000,000. Like, I mean, it was a good choice. I would have done the same. To be honest. So, I mean, good for him. He's living a good life. And Yeah, man. I was talking to somebody today, and they're like, "You're really to the point on the phone." Like they say, I'm really like to the point. Keep the phone call short. Like, very. I'm just very efficient on the phone. But like people who small talk on the phone and people who drag on these conversations are so annoying. Who likes someone who talks forever on the phone and won't let you hang up? Like my grandma, so my mom's mom, my grandma, it's hard to explain. My grandma would talk on the phone so long you couldn't get off. You literally hit the mute button, put it down, go have a shower, come back, unhit mute, and she was still talking and she didn't even know you were gone. Like no breaks, no pauses. You'd just be on the phone. It'd be like 30 minutes in and you're waiting for just a break in the conversation so you could say, hey, actually, I got to go. I got another phone call coming in. There was no breaks. You literally did not have a chance to say that. So it would be just these like hour and a half phone calls, just about nothing. And if you didn't pick up, it was a voicemail. It was an hour-long voicemail. It would literally take up all the space in your voicemail just from the one voicemail. She would talk until the voicemail cut off. I mean, it was crazy. And then as she started getting older, before she went into a home, she would just wake up in the middle of the night. And she used to call me all the time. We had a decent relationship there. And she just started calling at like 3 a.m. Like I'd be sound asleep and my phone would just start ringing. I'd like wake up and it'd be like, Grandma. And I'd be like, oh my God, like maybe she fell. Like heart racing, like, hello. And then as you're saying hello, she's already talking and she's like, yeah, I saw in the news that the new highway's going to be done by, summer 2018. And then it would just be an hour long at like 3 a.m. And you just have to hang up. And she would probably just keep talking and not even realize it's one of those things, man, and there's also the opposite though. Like I got a buddy, Nick. He's so efficient on the phone that you'll be talking to him and like there's two extremes. He's on the polar opposite end of my grandma. He's so efficient on the phone. He's hanging up as he says he has to go. Like you'll be in the middle of the conversation with him and he'll be like, yeah, and anyway, I gotta go. And as he's saying gotta go, he's just hanging up. Like there's no goodbyes. It's just click. So as you're like trying to reply to him saying goodbye, it's just beep. You just hear like the dial tone. I mean, there's two extremes, right? You got to be somewhere in the middle. You got to be somewhere in the middle, man. Like, yeah, there's nothing worse than someone just a long talker on the phone, especially at work. Like, I work a job where I have to phone lots of different clients and stuff like that. And there's nothing worse when like you're heading to someone's house to do some work for them, and they're telling you all about the job. Like you're gonna see this person in 20 minutes, and they're just telling you like, so we're doing this and this and this and this. As you're pulling into their driveway, and they're still not off the phone. Like there's nothing worse than that. So yeah, I'm pretty efficient. I'm somewhere in the middle, which is a good way to go. Yeah, man. What else is going on? Yeah, Super Bowl tomorrow. I mean, Super Bowl parties are not a thing. I mean, they're not a thing. I mean, everyone's still going to have them. But I heard like lots of companies aren't running Super Bowl ads this year. It's weird, man. Like the Super Bowl is such a big thing. It is such a big thing. And like, especially in the American economy, like that day, like they run out of chicken wings. Like the U.S. runs out of chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday. It's just one of those things, man. And this year, I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how the halftime show is going to be. Like The Weeknd. I believe The Weeknd's the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Good Canadian guy, The Weeknd. And I actually heard you have to pay. I could be wrong. I'm complete moron. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but I heard on the radio that you have to pay to perform at the Super Bowl. Like he's paying millions of dollars. You have to pay for your own production just to get the exposure, I'm guessing. There's got to be someone smarter than me that like understands that. Like you pay, I heard a number is like $10 million. I think he's paying to perform at the Super Bowl. $10 million, but obviously the business behind him knows that they're probably going to make like $20 million, right? Like it seems crazy to me. I always thought those guys collected a check. I'm like, why do you want to do the Super Bowl? I figured they got paid like $1 million or something to perform, but they're actually paying out of their own pocket to perform. Seems crazy to me, but I mean, it's just marketing, I guess. The exposure, album sales, social media growth, all that is just so astronomical that I guess it's worth it. I mean, the dollar amount is obviously worth it, or else no one would do it. So that's interesting. I mean, the halftime show, though, it does kind of fuck up the game. Like, it's like, how long is it? It's like half an hour, 40 minutes. Like, you're in the middle of the biggest game of the year, and they stop the game. It's like you play 2 games. The Super Bowl is like 2 half the length games. Like, I just don't get it. It's the biggest game of the year, and there's so much production. There's so many commercials. There's such a long halftime that it sort of just throws you out of the rhythm. Like, after halftime, it's like you're starting a whole new game. It's just like when speaking of Tom Brady, like the Patriots and the Falcons, when the Patriots were down, they were down a ton at halftime. But then it's just like, it's a new game. So the second half, the Falcons absolutely collapsed. Like the biggest choke of all time. If you guys are a football fan, you know what I'm talking about. Tom Brady leads them back, wins that game. But I don't think that happens without the halftime show. I think that just allowed the Patriots to regroup. Okay, it's the second half. It's a new game. Let's get out there, play football, and win. And without that halftime show, without it being on the Super Bowl, the Patriots never won that game. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. Fuck the halftime show. I don't care about it. I don't care about the halftime show. I mean, they're lip syncing half the time. The halftime show, they're lip syncing. The last halftime show I actually enjoyed was when Justin Timberlake did the nip slip on Janet Jackson. I mean, that was good TV. I mean, there's no one will ever top that halftime show. That was almost like, I don't know what year that is. I gotta look that up. What year was that? Where, let me see here. Janet Jackson, Super Bowl. When was that? 15. That was 16 years ago. 16 years ago, Janet Jackson's bare breast was accidentally exposed to millions of viewers watching Super Bowl XXV 111. Huh. Yeah, man, that wardrobe malfunction that blew the internet up. And that was sort of, yeah, I think that was, so was that 16 years ago? That was, yeah. You know, the internet wasn't, it was 2004 in Houston, Texas. Yeah, I mean, was it real? Was that on purpose? It had to be on purpose. I mean, they had to have. They were so famous for like a year. Now stories run for like something crazy. That was before you knew everything. That was before the internet was what it was, and you just like every 2 hours had some new story out of Syria or like some new scandal. Like that was before, that incident was before the internet was, what it is today. It was still there, but it wasn't so much. There wasn't as much information. So like that dominated stories for like a year. Like it was like, oh my God, like these children saw breasts for 2 seconds. It was like there was a huge uproar and like people got in trouble for that. Now that happens, it's just like, okay, like, then people started to do that on purpose. Like these celebrities they saw how much attention she got, and these celebrities would like wear short dresses, and you'd like, oh my God, we could see her ass, and like, that whole thing where they were doing that on purpose. They'd like go into nightclubs and accidentally like have a nip slip or something. I mean, it started this whole thing where that was like a way to get famous. That was a way to get famous. Now to get famous now, you download TikTok and you dance in your living room. That's how to get famous now. You download TikTok, you're 14 years old, you do a little dance, and then you have 6 million followers on TikTok, and you buy your mama a house. That's how you get famous now. You get famous overnight now. You get one viral TikTok, it changes your life. I mean, man, I just can't imagine being like a kid right now. I can't imagine having social media being in elementary school, like having group chats as a 10-year-old. Like, school was hard enough, man. It was hard enough. It was stressful enough. Like first day of school, I got my new clothes. I got my new jeans. Like, are they gonna like them? Do I look like a loser? Like, oh, I can't wear this shirt. They'll think I'm this. Like, now they literally have Instagram and they have pictures. Everyone has cameras. They're taking pictures of you. There's like group chats making fun of you. It must be ridiculous. The generation growing up right now, the people born, what are we, 2021? So the people born 2010 or later, they're going to be fucked. They are going to be some fucked up 40-year-olds. Like, it should be mandatory to go into counseling if you're growing up with a cell phone and social media as a kid. I can't even imagine. I couldn't have done it. I didn't have a cell phone. I got my first cell phone when I was 15. That would have been 2005. And I think 2003 we got our first computer. And yeah, I had a Motorola Razr. Whenever that came out, that was the year I got my first cell phone. And, it didn't have internet on it. You could text and take pictures, and that was crazy. But and then BlackBerry came out, and you could do the what was it? BBM? BlackBerry Messenger, BBM. That was a big thing for a while. And then the iPhone came out and, yeah, essentially killed BlackBerry. But, yeah, man, I remember my first computer. Big computer, like heavy. 2 people to lift it into the living room. Big box, the monitor. The monitor was probably this big. Like, the monitor was literally this big. It was like a small oven, and, yeah, I remember that computer. We had Napster and LimeWire. And you would download movies and download music, and then you download porn. Remember trying to download porn on LimeWire? You'd have to search titles and download all these different things. You'd have to find the porn by the title. I mean, what a time! What a time! And people just don't get it now. I mean, everything's so accessible now. Everything is so accessible. You need some information, it's in your pocket. You want to take a picture, it's in your pocket. You want to talk to someone, you want to reach out to someone. Everything is just on you. Right now you can do it. Yeah. I remember getting calls on house phones, wondering if that girl was going to call me before I had a cell phone, and your mom would answer, don't answer, Mom, It's Jill. It's Jill calling me. You're 8 years old and you're getting your first call. Your pits are drenched. You talk on the phone for 30 seconds. You hang it up. You're oh my God, I'm in love. I'm in love. You just wait there by the phone. And the thing was you'd want to try to get a phone in your room. If your room had one of the jacks for a phone, that was a big deal. That was a big deal when I was a kid. Is if you had a phone in your room, but you'd be talking and then all of a sudden you'd hear the sound of someone else picking up. It'd just be your parents in the living room listening to your conversation. Mom, get off the phone. And you just hear click. Yeah, man, those are crazy times. Crazy times, I tell you. But yeah, man, Super Bowl tomorrow. Mark my words. I'll give a score. I'm going to give a score right now. It's going to be 27-24, last minute field goal. The Bucs win. Tom Brady, MVP. Book it. I'll talk to you guys in a couple days.